D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I just finished episode 5 of House of the Dragon, and man, this show is a little bit of a slow burn, but at the same time, it's going through so much source material that I just feel like it's so good. It's really good, and I think that the thing is, and is it the best show ever? No. I think the Game of Thrones seasons 1 through 4 were better than this, but at the same time, this show is very good. And I love how they're choosing one because in the book, and I know you're like, oh, you run the book. In the book, there's like 3 or 4 versions of a story. For instance, from last episode, and I mentioned this in my last episode, in the book, when Rhaenyra and Cole, when they sleep together, Sir Christian Cole, when they sleep together, in the book, Mushroom says they totally smash. Like they smashed, they were doing the hibbity-dibbity. But then the Septon, he says that they did not do the hormone sandwich, that they were just, that she tried to, and he rebuffed her. And then from that point on, he hated her because she tried to get him to go back on his vows, chastity and protecting the family and everything like that. Sorry, I just need some caffeine because my blood is like, 75% caffeine these days. So it's like that. But in this show, they pick it and they're like, that's the version that we're going with. But in this episode, they kind of do a mixture of both. I mean, well, not really a mixture of both. It still goes the same way, kind of. I shouldn't have said that, but they pick a version and then that's the version, and I like that. I really do, and they do it and they keep it cohesive. It all fits together cohesively, and that makes me happy. So, and then the writing is very good, and then the acting is really good. Now, this is the last episode that we'll see the 2 actresses that play Alicent and Rhaenyra. They are Millie something, what's her face, and I don't know the other actress's name, sorry, the redhead. They are gone after this episode, and I'm gonna be honest, well, the Millie actress lady, she's really grown on me, and I wish they were keeping her around, but I have to see the other actress that they've chosen to play an older version of her. But yeah, I really like that Millie chick. And then the other actress isn't bad either. It's just a bummer that they're getting rid of them, So I am going to break this episode down. I'm trying not to take too much of your time because if you're watching this, you probably already saw it and everything. But I just give you some of my thoughts on it. But again, this show is very good in my opinion. I think they're doing a bang up job. I just really hope that they save some of the book because I really don't want them to go through all of the source material by the end of this season, because when you get to the Dance of Dragons, if you rush that, I mean, come on, I want to see dragons fight. Come on. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now that I've got all that out of the way, let me just say my piece and then we'll get started on this breakdown. So if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we just get shoved further into the back of the line. So please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. All right, so now that I got that out of the way, business, let's get to this breakdown. So it starts off in the Eyrie, and we see this lady. I do not remember her name. Sorry, you guys. Should have wrote it down because this is the only episode she's going to be in. But this is Daemon Targaryen's wife. Now, he always talks about how ugly she is. I personally do not think she's an ugly woman. I mean, she's very much like, I'm a man's man kind of thing. But I don't necessarily know if hunting is like a man's thing or whatnot. But she shoots a bow and arrow, which I think is cool, But I do not think she's ugly. I think she's pretty, So she's going to go hunting, and her cousin's like, "Can I join you? Do you want me to join you?" And she's like, "No, I got this by myself. I don't want you to come with. I want to go by myself." So she's riding, and she's clearly caught something because you see the birds here, and she's riding back home, and she comes across a cloaked figure, and it's Daemon Targaryen. She's like, "Oh, hello, husband. You finally come home, huh?" And long story short, he knocks her off of her horse, but she falls back in a way that it breaks her spine and she can't move anything from the neck down. And he steps on her arm because she can't feel it. And he starts to walk away, and she's like, "Oh, I knew you couldn't finish." And I'm all like, "Honey, you're about to die. So he picks up a rock and he heads towards her and he smashes in her head, but you don't see that. Now, it then humps over to this ship. Now, I have to just say right now, the boats in this show are very beautiful. So here we're on the king's ship, and he's not having a good time. The king is sickly, like crazy sick. Now, I know a lot of people want to say he has grayscale. Now, listen, I cannot remember exactly what he has in the book. I don't think they mention what he has, but I do not think he has grayscale because grayscale, if you remember Stannis' daughter from Game of Thrones, how it like got all up on her face and you could totally see it. It was all gross. It's making me itch right now. He does not have that. He doesn't have that. He kind of has something on his arm later on, but it doesn't look the same as grayscale. All right, moving on. And if I'm wrong and it is grayscale, don't get all nasty about it. You guys can be mean sometimes. It's fine though. I can take it. I can take it. So they're leaving King's Landing, and they're headed towards Corlys, Valerian's castle. So before we get there, we hop back over to the Red Keep where Otto Hightower is leaving, and his daughter is all like, "Oh, I don't want you to go," and he's all like, "Listen," he's all like, "The kingdom is going to be torn apart if she sits on the throne. You need to make sure that your son is the one that sits on the throne, not her. If she does, it will be civil war." It's going to be civil war anyways. Okay. So she's sad that her dad is gone. And she's soon going to find out that she's part of the reason why. But not because she meant to. So they get to Lord Valerian's castle. Corlys. I don't remember. I don't know how to say it, and everybody keeps correcting me, and I'm all like, listen, I'm just going to say Lord Valerian. And no one meets them at the gate. Insult. I would have left right then and there. I'd have been like, oh, he doesn't want to meet us? Tell him he can come to King's Landing. Tell him I said he better come to King's Landing. Because I'd be pissed. So there's his castle. I do like his castle. I really like this round part right here. It's very cool. But okay. So then he's like, no one is here to meet us at the gate. And then this girl's all like, sorry, my father just got back from a long trip or whatnot. And then we go over to the weirwood tree, and this clubfoot guy, what is his name? Shoot, I can't remember. The Strong. He's one of the Strong boys. That's their last name, Strong. The other one is his brother that saves what's her face, Rhaenyra's later. Anyways, so he comes up and he's like, I'm glad that the queen is not ill. And she's like, what are you talking about? And she's all like, well, the maester brought her a tea. So I thought she was ill. And she's like, I brought a tea. And he's like, yeah. And so she knows what's going down. So the only reason you bring her tea is if you're, possibly preggers. So she's all like, she lied to me. That hooker lied to me. And then my father got fired because of it. Shame. And now I'm pissed. And that hooker is going to pay. So then back at Lord Valerian's house, he goes, he's got all these skulls on the wall, and I'm like, charming, I'm like, nothing says like, homie, like skulls, you know what I'm saying? Fucking weirdos. So he goes in there, and I do like this whole little court area. And long story short, his cousin comes in, and they come in. And he's like, listen, I'm here because I want Rhaenyra to marry your son, Lorien. Anyways. And they're like, okay, but if they get married, their children have to take the Valerian name. And he's like, fine. But their firstborn, male or female, when they take the throne, they have to change their name to Targaryen. Dragons have ruled for 100 years, and they will rule for another 100 years. And they're like, agree. So these two are walking on the beach, and they're doing metaphors for they're talking about tastes, and if you don't like duck, how can you eat duck? And basically, when they say duck, they mean dick, because he is gay. And so she's all like, listen, how about this? We're gonna get married, and you bang as many, like, you can have all the pussy, and like whatever your version of pussy is, you can have it. And I will have all the pussy that I want, whatever my version of it is. And they're like, agreed. So basically they'll have to have babies though to carry on the line. Yeah. And I'm sorry, but they got to have darker skinned babies, can't just be having, vanilla white babies. That just wouldn't work out. So then Rhaenyra. Oh no, Rhaenyra is the other one. This is there's too many R names. I can't help. The queen that never was is worried because she's all like, listen, you're putting our son in danger. Him being in that capital is bad news bears. And he's like, listen, you should be queen right now. And I'm going to make sure that they pay for that. And she's like, listen, I'm over it. They were never going to make me queen ever. And I am fine with that now. And so these two are sitting here chit-chatting. He's a little bit upset about it and everything. And then Joffrey, no relation, he goes, listen, we need to find out who her little devil's harlot is, and we need to talk to him. So then on the boat, Sir Christian Cole, like a total pussy, comes up and he's all like, listen, I think we should run off and get married because I love you because, you took my V card. And she's all like, what? She's like, no, I have responsibilities as queen. I have to marry a lord of a large house, and we have to create an heir. Those are my duties as queen. And this is where Sir Christian Cole, he like flips the switch. He's all like, what? He's like, so what? She's like, but we can still fool around. He's like, so I'm just your whore. And I'm like, dude, you're getting a really good deal here, but I totally get it. You want more and she doesn't want any. And I get it, dude. But at the same time, what are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. So he's bummed. Again, beautiful ship. I love this boat. It's so cool. So cool. It's got the dragon on the front. Look at this back portion of it. I'm sure this part is great. It just looks really, really nice. So they're heading back to King's Landing. I love King's Landing. It's my favorite. I love the Red Keep. So she sees him and she is pissed. She's all like, look at, there she is. She's going to pay. So he's all like, Sir Cole, the queen would like to see you. So he goes in to see her and she's all like, listen, tell me about her banging her uncle. And he's like, it happened, but she didn't bang her uncle. She banged me. Please don't have me castrated and tortured. Please just have me executed. And she's like, you may go. Because now she's pissed. Because she's like, she lied to me about not being a virgin. Which technically I just want to be all like, did she say she wasn't a virgin? Or did she just say she didn't sleep with her uncle? Because she didn't sleep with her uncle. She never said she didn't smash anybody, at least from what I remember. I haven't rewatched that episode since this episode. So we get to the king, and this guy right here, this headmaster guy is all like, get the leeches. And he's like, I made some purple, blossom tea or some crap like that. And he's like, no, get the leeches. And I'm all like, maybe you should do something different. You're obviously not good at this anymore because his arm looks gross. And maybe that just still doesn't look like grayscale to me. Like I had said before, it looks more like gangrene than anything else. So I'm all like, so then they give him something to sleep or whatnot, and he drinks that, and then he goes to sleep. So then we get these dragons flying in, and this is Sunsmoke, and then I don't know which one this is because I'm all like, I can't be sure of which one this is. But then we get this huge armada coming in. It's like, who could go up against this? Who could go up against this? You've got dragons and you've got a large navy fleet. It's like crazy bones. So they're introducing the Lannisters and all these houses are coming in. Jason Lannister comes up and he's all talking and stuff. And then the cousin of Daemon's ex-wife now, dead wife, whatever. He's all like, they're like, sorry about your loss. And then long story short, he gets interrupted by the Valerians coming in. And then they come in and she's all like, oh, my betrothed. And he's all like, my betrothed. And in walks Daemon Targaryen. And everybody's just like, oh my gosh, he's here. I can't believe he's here. But anyway, so he comes in and he's like, all right, pull him up a seat or whatnot. Just let him sit down and enjoy the festivities, even though he smashed his niece. Gross. So he's given his speech about joining the two houses, and in walks the queen because she wasn't ready before. And she's wearing green. She's not wearing red, which is like, because those are the colors of her house of Hightower. And so he's all like, do you know what he's like, you know what the colors of Hightower are? He's like, green. He's like, yeah. So she sits down and he gives the rest of his speech, but he kind of bumbles it a little bit because he got interrupted. We've all been there before. So then they go out to dance. They're dancing. They're not very good at it, in my opinion. Then everybody starts to dance. Then the queen goes and talks to her uncle. And they're like, House Hightower is with you. So they're sitting here. He comes up and he's like, I know what you did. You killed your wife. And he's all like, well, when I come to the Eyrie, I'm going to get my money from you because we didn't have any children. So I should be getting everything that she would have gotten, including your house. And he's like, what? So he leaves. Then they all go out to dance and he's talking to him. He's like, I know who it is. It's Sir Cole. Because I've been watching him. He's watching like a sick puppy. He's all like, please on me. And he's like, so then he goes to talk to Cole. He's like, listen. He's like, and basically, if I was Cole, I would have been pissed too. But he's like, I know your secret. You know our secret. If you don't say anything, we won't say anything. And that pisses him off. So they're dancing. And what's his face? Daemon comes up. He's all like telling her how he's like, this isn't you. And she's like, oh, well, you tried to get me, in trouble with Daddy Pooh. And so she's like, you don't want what's best for me. You just want the throne. And that's totally true. Then a fight breaks out. And some people are watching. Larian gets thrown over. She's like, what's going on down there? And Sir Cole has punched this dude's face in. He is dead. If he is not dead, he is dying very soon, but he's dead. And he's upset, which, rightfully so, because that was his boyfriend. And he's, on me, I'm all like, what's going on here? This is crazy. Like, you guys are just like, this is crazy bones, but I likes it. Anyways, so then they get married like right after that in a private ceremony in the dining hall. Like there's no big wedding going on. They're just like, let's do this. And he just like, doesn't even fake kiss her. He's all like on the cheek kind of thing. Like, I'm pissed. Your soldier killed my man, dude. Your lover killed my lover. So Sir Christian Cole, he goes into the weirwood to kill himself. He's just to the tree. And he's just gonna plunge that dagger right in his belly and die. But then right at the last minute, he hears Sir Christian Cole, and it's the queen. And that's where that ends. And then so these two are sitting here and they're married now, and the king faints. And as they're all helping him out, it pans back and there's a rat drinking the blood of Lorian's dead lover. Or maybe it's the king's blood. I don't remember because he was bleeding from his nose earlier. And that's where the episode ends. So this was a very good episode because, it had some high tension scenes, but it just goes to show, like, I think that when it comes to the marriages in this show, like, nobody's really like Daemon killed his wife and everybody's like, just like, okay with it. Like her neck was broken and her head was smashed in. Like, what? Like all of that. And I mean, don't get me wrong, this is all very good. And they're doing a good job with adapting the source material. But like I said before, a small piece of me is worried. And I get it that they didn't know if they were going to get a season 2. So they wanted to make sure they got in as much as they could. I get that. But I just go, if you go through the whole Dance of Dragons, the whole Civil War with the dragons in this one season, I'm going to be a little annoyed. I'm going to be a little perturbed, if you get what I'm saying. But I hope that they keep a little bit more for season 2. I hope they just start the very beginning of the Dance of Dragons at the end of this season. And then season 2 is all of the Civil War. I hope so. Ooh, cross my fingers. But yeah, tell me, what did you guys think about this episode? Did you like this episode? Did you not like this episode? Who's your favorite character? Are you bummed that they're changing out the two main actresses for new older versions of them? I am. I'm not gonna lie. I wish they would just keep them the whole way around, but you know, we'll see. Maybe these other actresses will do a great job. Tell me who your favorite character is, who's your least favorite character. Tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. You know, I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. I will see you guys next week on my House of the Dragon breakdown and review. You guys have a good week. Jakaras. Bye.